My name is Vansh, and I go to Amador Valley High School, and I'm a rising sophomore. My project name is the mask recognition, and it detects someone who's not wearing a mask, and it gets the distance between you and the person without a mask, and it sends an email telling you that a warning that you've been into contact with someone who's not following proper COVID protocols, and it tells you the distance away from them that you were. So this milestone is my final milestone. I got the emailing to work, and I've added the distance that it sends to whatever email that you have. And I ran into a few problems with getting the distance to also send, because there are a few data type issues, such as the function that I was using can only send strings. I was getting floats and tuples and all sorts of things to convert. And in this milestone, I sort of enjoyed debugging it, and then at the end of debugging all of this, because it was a relief after about 1.5 weeks of this, and I'm relieved that after 1.5 weeks I've accomplished something. And I did struggle on a few things, such as this data type problem. And then previously I struggled on sizes of images to training my model, and then realized that training my model was not also the best idea. And maybe sometime in the future I might try training my model again, except instead of using about 600, 700 images, I might use like 7,000 or 8,000. And yeah. So here's my code. I start off with importing a few libraries, and I set GPIO pins for my infrared sensor. And then here I have my classifier, my mouth.xml, and this function, which I created, gets the distance between wherever the ultrasonic sensor is and whatever object that it hits, and it returns this distance. And I did print this distance for some debugging, but I don't need this anymore. And this one draws faces, and I'm using the Pi camera, so I need to use that. And I'm also using OpenGL instead of OpenCV, because OpenCV is really glitchy and slow. So OpenGL, and it's not really made for graphics, and OpenGL is a graphics library. So over here I draw my faces, call functions, and here is when I detect the face and then send the email. So if there is something, if the computer detects the face, then I run my getDistance function, and I have this string. And then over here I just iterate it through it. Is when I was converting my float to tuple to string. I got that problem, and I printed it out for debugging as well, but I don't need that anymore. And if the distance is under 200 centimeters, this is in centimeters, then I go to my port number 465, and I log into my server, and I send it from this email, and this is just another email, but I send it, and this whole thing is you've been into contact with someone who wasn't following proper protocols, and then plus this X, and the X was the distance that it sends as well, and then it quits from the server. So let's see it run. I'll let it detect my mouth. And it should send an email. As you can see, there's a new email, and here's the new email. You've been into contact with someone who wasn't following proper protocols, and you were 52.15 centimeters away from the person. So cool, it works.